Hi everyone, thanks for joining me for this second part of the Beginner's Guide to Mindfulness series. In the first episode, we discussed and looked at why we need to practice mindfulness, and we also looked at some of the benefits of practicing mindfulness. And those benefits include reducing stress, sleeping better, being more productive in our life, in our day, and also strengthening relationships and finding joy. Then we also examine the concept of mindfulness and what it's all about. The practice of mindfulness can help us to cultivate a deeper level of awareness of our own thoughts, feelings, emotions, and behavior. So most of us operate on an autopilot mode. Can you remember the last time you got into a car, drove to your destination, and not realize how you got there? In the same way that we don't need to think about how to drive a car, we tend to go through life in the same way when we are not aware and conscious. So if you're worrying about the future or about a perceived threat, we tend to be caught up in that mode where we are just thinking excessively, kind of going down that rabbit hole. Or we can be aware of our thoughts and the emotions that arises, and that could perhaps change our behavior as well. So in today's episode, we're going to look at how to cultivate this deeper level of awareness of our own thoughts and emotions, and also how we can practice mindfulness in our daily lives. Firstly, I'll be introducing the concept of RAIN to you. R stands for recognize. When a situation arises, we should stop and pause and recognize the thoughts and emotions that might be arising. We apply a kindly curiosity as to what is happening inside of us. A stands for allowing. Allowing life to be just as it is. Letting be the thoughts and emotions that you may discover. Letting be the thoughts and emotions because sometimes we try to run away or suppress feelings that may be uncomfortable. So letting be means not pushing away or running away from those discomfort. I stands for investigate with kindness. Once we recognize the emotions and the feelings, we may ask ourselves, how am I feeling this in my body? Or what does this feeling want from me? In order for this investigation to be freeing and healing, we need to apply a deeper quality of attention. We also need to offer a gentle welcome to whatever that is arising. And lastly, N stands for non-identification. Non-identification means that we do not need to identify with that emotion that may have arisen in the previous steps. For example, if you detect anger towards someone, we can choose not to act on that emotion. We can choose to remain calm and not react as we would when we feel anger. Then we begin to look at how do we practice mindfulness. We can practice mindfulness in two ways. First is the informal practice and the formal practice. With the informal practice, we practice keeping our focus on the task at hand. We are present and engage fully in the moment on whatever we're doing without distraction and judgment. So for example, if you are writing an email at work, are you also communicating with a friend on Facebook at the same time? Because technology allows us to do that. And that's also called multitasking. And if you are in the shower, are you focused on feeling the water on your body, the soap on your body, in your hair, or perhaps you're planning the day ahead? So these are little things in everyday ways that we can incorporate mindfulness into our lives. The formal practice of mindfulness is meditation, where we create time and a place to be still and to focus on training our minds. In the same way that we go to a gym to train our bodies, we use meditation to train our minds. Do we have to sit cross-legged on the floor to meditate? That is a question that I get asked quite regularly. The answer is no. You can absolutely sit in the chair, keep your back straight, lean against a wall. Just make yourself absolutely comfortable. Some people have to lie down, and that's all good. The key is to be consistent. So creating a habit of coming to practice on a regular basis. 1 minute a day is better than 0 minutes. And so just starting small, starting short periods of time to meditate is a good way to cultivate a formal practice of meditation and mindfulness. As I mentioned previously, meditation can really help your brain and your mind to focus on what you want it to focus on. And so there are many techniques that you can learn to help your mind to focus. From breath techniques to chanting mantras, there are loads of different ways to meditate. And today I'm going to be guiding you through the techniques that relates to the breath. So when you're ready, let's come into a comfortable seated position. And once again, feel free to sit in the chair, lean against a wall, make yourself comfortable. And placing your feet firmly on the ground, on the floor. And then beginning to close your eyes if you wish, or you can drop your gaze down towards the floor. And then beginning to sense the motion of your breath. Perhaps you can feel the expansion of your chest as you breathe in, and the chest contracting as you breathe out. And beginning to bring your awareness to your breathing. Feeling the inflow of the air through the nose and the outflow through the nose. You might be able to also feel that warm air on the top of your lip as you breathe out. And just know that we don't need to change anything in our breath at the moment. And just taking this time to just observe the quality of your own breath. You may be able to notice how fast you're breathing or how slow, how deep or how shallow. We're also applying a kindly curiosity to the quality of our own breath. And at this point, you may have had thoughts coming into your mind. Just know that this is very normal. Just allowing those thoughts to pass as you bring your awareness back to the breath. Now see if you can begin to breathe a little bit deeper. And So see if you can really breathe in deeply into the lungs. And slowly exhale as you empty out the lungs. And remembering here, we're not judging, we're just simply noticing as we're breathing in, filling up the lungs, and breathing out. And just noticing what you notice. And then next we're going to breathing into a 4-2-4 part breath. You're going to inhale for 4 counts. You're going to pause and hold for 2 counts. And exhale for 4 counts. I'm going to guide you through this 4-2-4 rounds. When you're ready, breathing in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 1, 2. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. We'll go again when you're ready. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 2 and 1. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Last round. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Just breathing normally here. You're welcome to keep going. So allowing your mind to focus on the task of breathing in for 4, holding for 2, and breathing out for 4. Or you can simply allow your awareness to rest in your breath, just watching and observing your breathing. Whenever the thought arises, just allowing those thoughts to pass like clouds in the sky, allowing it to drift away. And when you're ready, slowly coming back into the room, into your consciousness. And thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.